Hey, what's up? It's dark as hell. Let me try to fix that, y'all. I broke my damn, it's not even plugged up. Oh no, it's better. I broke my ring light, so I gotta order a new one. I broke my ring light, so I was just sitting here. I just got done with my class, and I was sitting here, and I was like, let me go live. There was a lot of shit.
Doing too much.
There was a lot of shit that I wanted to talk about that I seen on the news or just seen on YouTube.
She like, cash. You doing too much. I'm like, shut up.
Because I don't feel like yelling. I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh, you fucking mad. That's who fucking mad. Since you fucking ass.
So that's Cash
I like doing too much. 20-inch heels like I'm Lady Gaga. My Chanel tatted right here on my dick. Like I'm Dolly Parton. Living La Vida Loca.
That's right. I'm a little tipsy already. So I'll be completely honest. So this should be good. This should be good. Right. So let me get the. I broke the light, and then I plugged it up the other night and just found something to prop it on. But I am so pissed because I just bought this, so I'm like trying to figure out how to get broken because I'm not careless with my shit. But yeah, man, let me see. Let me see if I can put this up. Is that better? We still got big hair. We still doing our Rudy before the perm. We still doing our Shaka Khan. I love big hair. I'm a big fan of big hair, like I said in that last video. All right, so I wanted to go live because I wanted to talk about this light is so fucking great. But I wanted to talk about some things I had seen on the internet. And one of the other things that I wanted to talk about, I was watching CNN today. And watching CNN today, I was watching this woman. Her name is Cairol Horne. And we're just going to get into some things that I've seen on news or that's been going on in the social media streets that I want to give my fucking opinion on. Because, so like I said, I'm drinking. So it's, I don't know, whatever comes out my mouth comes the fuck out my mouth. It is what it is right now. All right. So the first thing first, Cairol Horne. Y'all need to go look her up. She is, she was on CNN today. So she is a ex-police officer. And the reason why she's an ex-police officer, I'm going to look her up and see if I can find the article. If not, you guys, I'm giving you keywords. You can go look it up yourself too. But her name is Cairol Horne, Karol Horne. So she was a police officer in Buffalo, New York. Now, I bring Cairol Horne up because she's just a hero, and I need to find if she has like some type of GoFund or something situation, because I'm literally interested in it, because this happens more than we like to think of it, and it happens more than we acknowledge. And I think because of everything that's going on socially, people are just more. Let me put this down a little bit. People are just more right now. They just want to talk about all the bullshit that's going on. So this is Cairol Horne. I have an article up from, let me see, WBFO, NPR, I see here. But former Buffalo police officer Cairol Horne, okay, she spells her name Carol, Horne, has left town. Evicted from her unit in Buffalo Municipal Housing Authority's Kinfield Longfield project over unpaid rent, she blames the situation on retaliation. Horne admits she has had problems with paying her rent, especially now as a long-distance truck driver based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Monday, she was in her former apartment marked by eviction notice, packing up. She told reporters there had been unsuccessful attempts to make partial rent payments and to work something out. The former officer said it's part of a long effort to get her to leave town because she won't shut up. Horne was fired in 2008. My God. Oh my God. That's 12 years this woman has been not at her job. 12 years. 12 years. 12 years that this woman, she has been fired. Okay, so Horne was fired in 2008 for an incident occurring, according to her, after stepping into the block After stepping in to block another officer for violently attacking a crime suspect, the officer eventually went to prison for using violence. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Horne said she lost her pension after being fired. While the officer she stopped while still receive his pension when he is released from prison for another beating. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, time out. So let me stop here. And the reason I'm so thrown off. So I had listened to her speak on CNN. So what she said is that she had stopped the gentleman, maybe her partner, but another police officer for choking, from choking a man to death. So she went and grabbed his arm. So he was fine after that incident with her. They went back and they made up all these lies about this woman and said that she jumped on this man's back to stop him from choking another gentleman, and they fired her, kept him. He ended up going to jail for another incident unrelated to Cairol's incident. He ends up going to another jail for another incident, and this woman gets fired without her pension, and he's in prison, and even when he gets out until this day, he will have his pension. Come on, yo. Come on. How can you not, how can you not feel something? What? How can you not be angry about something like that? We keep on making the good suffer for doing the right thing. Like, what type of society are we living in that this is okay? What type of society is that people are okay with going along with this? Horne says she lost her pension after being fired, while the officer she stopped will receive his pension when he is released from prison for another beating. Speaking out against police brutality has definitely put me in a situation. It sure has, ma'am. It sure has. Horne said, and that officer is now incarcerated because he took a plea on federal charges and also testified in court that he lied during the hearing, which he also lied in mine. So when he gets out, he still has the pension. I don't. What the? So he ends up going to jail for lying. He got away with lying on her, which caused her to be fired. And under what credibility? Like, why was he more believed than her? Like, that's the part that makes me struggle. Like, that I struggle with. Because at the end of the day, when motherfuckers are not your family or even the closest person, they're fucking strangers to you. So I want to understand, like, with Buffalo or whoever's in charge, why did you believe him over her? Because it goes that far up when you have somebody who lost their pension. Why did you choose him over her? What about his character and how he's moved that y'all decided to trust him, give him the benefit of the doubt? Because that's all we're fucking talking about, the white benefit of the motherfucking doubt. That's all we're talking about. He got extended that benefit of the doubt because he's white. And she was going against the grain. And the grain is code of silence for the boys in blue. Because it's a game. It's a game. And that's all that is. So let me finish here. Horne was arrested at Mayor's Byron Brown State of the City address after protesting police violence. She blames the mayor for some of her problems. I would too. That's the thing is, like, people in charge, sometimes they like to pass the buck. They like to act like they don't know what's going on. They like to ask as minimal questions, keep as little as conversation with you, so that way they can be blissfully in their ignorance. Okay? Don't let that go over your head. Don't let that go over your head. I can stay in bliss of ignorance if I don't give you time, if I don't listen to this, if I act like I don't see all of that stuff. We got to get into these things. Let's talk about it. We got to get into these motherfucking things, yo, for real. Like, I'm not even like, for real, we got to get into this. Like, this is the root. This is people are like, oh, this has nothing to do with police brutality. It all has something to do. If we're saying that we have this anger and we're feeling some sort of way, we're saying it for a reason. We feel it in our homes. We feel it at work. We feel it everywhere. These microaggressions. It's dangerous. It's sickening. Wow. My daughter, who also on the lease, and they were using her income. They would not let her make payment arrangements, Horne said. She took in 2 payments. They were not accepted, and eventually one went through. I still don't know what happened with the other one. I have money orders that I was saving because I was going to make the payments, but I couldn't make them because they were not accepted. Wow. So that's the other thing. That's the wanting to live in bliss, right? They didn't want to accept her payments, right? Because you can't, if they accept it and she has a cash check, so she has receipts of payments she submitted, you can't then you have a housing discrimination, or you have, like, you get what I'm saying? It's sabotage. Like, it's really deep at this point. So they just didn't accept her payments. So that way it looked like as if though she wasn't trying to pay her rent. And because it looks like she's not trying to pay her rent, then we can easily get this woman out of town and shut her up. Baby, the internet works every motherfucking where. Like, what is that? The internet works every motherfucking where. There's no shutting somebody up. What are you talking about? How? There's no shutting somebody up. Anyway. Oh my God. Neil Mack Jr. is the son of the man allegedly beaten by the other cop and tenant representative to the housing project in the overall BMHA. Mack said the housing authority did not help Horne over the rent problems. I bet you they didn't. That would be a fair statement, but I want to see to the city of Buffalo. Okay, so this is, I swear to God, I wish I will Photoshop this, but I'm sitting here struggling reading this, and I'm thinking it's me, but this clearly says, but I want to see to the city of Buffalo. So I guess she's trying to say, but I want to say to the city of Buffalo. Max said she did have some type of rent payment / rent issues. This is a low to lower income housing. If you have a problem with payments or jobs or whatever the case may be, BMHA are suggested to negotiate with residents with the tenant. BMHA Executive Director Jillian Brown did not return a phone call to discuss the eviction. Yeah, I bet you didn't, because white privilege or, connections, somebody probably called her housing or made a suggestion or dropped a dime. FYI, let you know about this person. And yeah, it's been a concerted effort to get her pushed out of her housing. She has checks. Why you wouldn't take the checks? If your intentions is really trying to work with somebody, then your actions would support that. And their actions don't support that. Because if you really was trying to work with Miss Horne, you would have taken those checks even if she was behind. Because one, you would have looked at it as a smart business person. Well, even if we may lose some money, at least we got some money, right? You get what I'm saying? So you're going to want to take in the money. That's what business is, right? You want to make sure you limit as much as your risk as possible. So when you have a business not taking money, that goes against the principles, that goes against business. So that's how you know that's some fuck shit. We got some fuck shit going on right here. We got some fuck shit. All right. The other thing I wanted to point out about the Cairol Horne was the fact that this Buffalo Police Department, the reason why this caught my attention, it was because it's the same Buffalo Police Department that knocked down that 75-year-old white man. We're in different times. We're all protesting, right? So this isn't a black against white people issue. And I know some people would like to make it into that. I think people want to make it into that. That's not, wait, let me back that up. It is a racism issue, right? But on some things, we can come together and say that it's not about race per se. Let me think about that one a little bit more. Let me think about that one. This is just about, not having access. This is about intimidation. This isn't about bullying. Let me tell you one thing that you're going to get really early about Shug Avery. I don't fuck with bullying. I don't like it. If you's a badass, you should be able to do that on your fucking own. So once I start seeing bullying as behavior, I'm just not. I can't do it. So let me get back to my point. My point was that this is the same Buffalo Police Department that knocked down the 75-year-old white man. And when I say this is not about, it could be so easy if I was just ignorant, or if I had if I felt like all white people were the problem, I would look at an incident like that and be like, oh, whatever. Got one now that they feel it. No. We're talking about human decency. We're talking about treating people like humans, right? And when a police department doesn't want to treat a 75-year-old elder, senior citizen man as a human being, what the fuck you think you're going to do with us as black people? Come on. That could have been his granddad. He didn't give a fuck. He knocked that man down. Had him bleeding on the ground. There's just no way I could walk past that. So you would have insubordination, all that shit, all that. I would have had all that. I would have had all of that. Disgusting. When there's smoke, there's fire. And that's what I got to say about the Buffalo Police Department. Shout out to Cairol Horne. If you don't know who she is, please go look her up. Her name is Cairol. She was on CNN this morning. This woman doesn't have her pension. This criminal is in jail and is going to get his pension when he gets out. He lied on this woman and got her fired. They believed him over her. Who knows why? Why was he given that grace? These are like real questions. And like, I want like, people should really be upset about that. As a Black woman to another Black woman, you should be upset about that. That a white man's word would just be taken. A man's word would just be taken. What a deplorable history. Deplorable character. You would take his word over a woman? Just because? What's the excuse now? That's why man has all the privilege in the world. And I know Black people would be like, well, Black men have it harder, so that's why we give them a grace. What's the problem when it comes to white men? I don't believe that shit when it comes to Black men. I don't. We all got that shit we trying to work out. You all got to be called out about that shit. I don't give them niggas a pass on disrespect. So, why was this man and his intentions or him as a person held at higher value than that woman? She saved a man's life. He was going to choke a man out. He saved a man's life. And she lost her job. Let that sizzle in your soul. So if you are out there and you're watching this and you're right, it's not a beef across the board, but there's some behavior that you guys do have to be called to the carpet. There's this passive aggressive behavior that you do that we have to talk about it. There's this Cinderella type of, I'm choosing my words. I'm going to say it. Don't worry. But there's this you know what? Black women gets treated as though, and I've had this done with me with Black men. So it's just not a black and white thing. I've had Black men and be at a workplace and think that they could talk to me a certain way and then be like, well, you're stronger. Stronger because of how? So you really think I'm so much stronger that you can talk to me crazy in front of a white woman, an Asian woman, because you feel like I'm tougher? And you think that's okay? I'm a woman at the end of the day. Soft and sweet. Don't let this shit fool you. Talk a whole lot of shit, but I'm still a woman at the end of the day. So you don't get to decide that because my skin's darker, I appear a little bit more tougher, that you could treat me a certain way. I'm going to make sure that you know that you can't do that. I don't give a fuck about who lets you do what. I'm just that girl. I don't give a fuck. Like, what? And we'll flip in and jump into proper so that you know if you violate and I have to violate you, you went there first. Yeah, I come with it just like that. So across the board, Cairol Horne, shout her out. What else did I want to talk about? B. Simone. I get, and I've heard a lot of people, like not a lot of people, I've heard like a few people give their commentary. I made a video. I don't know why my video won't upload about B. Simone and Doja Cat. The shit just won't upload. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong. I'm trying to learn all this shit. Have all this content. But I do this for fun right now. So while I'm getting used to it. So as you can see, I'm kind of sporadic. I'm kind of all over the place. But when you have an actual job and this is like something you do because you love, you know, you know, you know, it's not my only hustle. So it's something that I like to do. What else? But anyway, B. Simone, this is what I wanted to say. So I seen you guys got onto B. Simone with a 9 to 5. I didn't think that it warranted a whole video what some people are doing. Like, what the fuck do I look like judging another woman about what her criteria is about who she wants to date and what fits her? Like, some of y'all are way out of pocket to even like forming opinions. Like, what do you mean? Like, no, for real. Like, we really gonna sit here and talk about like her saying she don't want a man that works 9 to 5? Like, so how you gonna feel if I say I don't want a nigga who works 9 to 5 at Dunkin' Donuts? What you feel about that? How you feel about that? Like, why do you have feelings about how I feel and how I'm out here dating? Like, what is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? Like when you know your life and you know what fits you. So as you get older, you develop certain rules, you develop certain standards that fit your life. You get what I'm saying? If I was just a Burger King and McDonald's eating ass bitch, then I will fuck with a nigga who will buy me Burger King and McDonald's. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you fuck with what fits your life. But but if you've been afforded and you like nicer things and you know the finer things in life, I'm supposed to step down because of who and what? Y'all lost me on that 9 to 5 conversation because I was with her. If it don't fit her life, I was with her. Like at the end of the day, the elephant is in the room. She's a woman that's worth millions of dollars. Why would she be dating a man in 9 to 5? And how would he operate and feel with being in a relationship with such a successful woman? We got to talk about that elephant in the room. So when a woman says, I need to date a man that's on my level, understand that she understands that a man that doesn't have what I have will feel some sort of way. Period. That's not no. Niggas making whole videos about shit. I'm just like, what the fuck? I may give that 5 minutes, but how that woman get by and what she likes, I can never critique her on that part. Now, B Simone, let's get to this fucking book. listen, listen, B Simone. Let me tell you something. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And she was out here. I'm a Christian girl. I met B Simone. Actually, B Simone came to Boston, I think it was last year. And she was at the Laugh Factory in the South Boston area. First one in line, because that's, I get through. First one in line, met B Simone, talked to her for like 5 or 6 minutes. My impression of B Simone when I first met her was like, I think we were just talking about haters and how to deal with people around you. She was just a real cool person. Still is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. She still seems cool to me. But she was just really like, who gives a fuck? Girl, they don't matter. Like, y'all know B Simone, so she was like, girl, they don't matter. Keep doing you. They don't matter. Like, she was really like, I want to say it wasn't bad. I liked her advice, and I'm taking her advice because, like, really, the internet, it's called the World Wide Web, not the Boston Wide Web. It's called, like, the World Wide Web. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you can't argue with niggas who are so close-minded and really concentrating on peanuts when you're trying to own the whole field. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just be like, oh, yeah, you can have that. You own that block. Okay, that Facebook block. Okay, that's your block. Okay, that's cool. You got that player. That's your block. Like, you get what I'm saying? It gets really cheeky, like when niggas are talking about nothing. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you can have that. That's not what I was working for, but that's yours. So when I met B Simone, and she was just very self-absorbed, like, who gives a fuck? Get it, girl. Don't fuck them. Like, but I've met Christian people that are kind of like bubblish, like that. As long as they're doing them and not hurting somebody, they really can't be bothered with too much of anything on the outside, as long as they're living kind of righteously, kind of thing. So that's how it came across to me, because that's what it came across to me. Now back to her motherfucking book. You know, that moment when you just looked at someone so just like pure, optimistic, and like you were just like, they seem like good people. You know that moment, like you just thinking that this person's a good person. Like like that moment where you just like, they're good people. You got nothing bad to say about them. I mean, this little bullshit. Everybody got their bullshit, so you're not holding it against them. This light setting is so crazy to me, but you don't hold that against them, right? But that moment when that person falls for grace in your mind, that happened when B Simone in this book. I want to cut off. That happened with B Simone in this book. Like, she fell from grace for me, and not because I may disagree with a certain opinion or something like that, but you just have to like gain, recognize, gain. And when it comes to B Simone and her little pamphlet, from what I've seen online, at the end of the day, they send you copies of your book. to be edited. Like they send you final copies, they send you the first print. Like these are things that usually happen standard-wise when it comes to books. Now, so to come forward and say, I just hired people to bring my vision to bring my vision to life, that's not what the fuck you did. You know you had a name, you knew you had a platform, you got some other people in the room and told them this is what we're gonna do. And then I'm gonna go on my platform, niggas gonna eat this up. I'm gonna come on, y'all know what it was. That's not her fucking book. She's seen that shit. She knew she didn't write those lists. How to get that past you, girl? You knew you didn't write these lists. You knew that. Like, you know how you speak. Like, I know how I speak. I know how I write. I know how my writing reflects how I speak. Because the last time I checked, I deal with numbers. I don't write poetry. I don't write essays for a living. And when I send my emails out, they be straight. All the rest of that, we talking about nothing. I know we talking about nothing. I know niggas be talking about nothing. Nothing. So with that being said, if B. Simone had a problem with writing, she should have hired the right people to take her words. And that when I read that book, it reflect her words. I think Jennifer Lewis, is that her name? Yeah, mother of Black Hollywood. She did the same thing. She got her a writer. But again, because if that's not your field, that doesn't mean that you can't write. That's just, it is what it is. You got to hire somebody. That's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. People's been doing that for years. You think Donald Trump wrote his book? See my eyes? See my eyes? I'm doing that on purpose. Do you really think Donald Trump wrote his books? You think Bush wrote his books? No, come on. Let's talk about it. I don't even think Steve Harvey wrote his book. But the fact of the matter is they did it the right way by hiring people and they didn't steal people's content. I just called bullshit on B. Simone. You knew what was going on. I seen lists in this fucking, like, there's just no way. There was like, there's just no way you didn't know. And I mean, granted, you said people are accepting her apology, but I mean, the thought is you knew before you sent it out in the mail. You did go over your book, right? You knew those words weren't yours. You can't get me past that. I don't give a fuck what you told them people. You should at least been able to write this. Was like, well, damn. Where y'all get this from? This is good. You know what I mean? Like, you should have, like, keep it real. You had to see that shit and be like, damn, y'all took my thoughts and y'all ran with it. Girl, please. Girl, bye. Bye. Bye on that. Who did I want to talk about? What else? Let's go on Instagram. Oh, I got y'all here. Let's see what's going on. Y'all not gonna force Chloe and Hallie on me. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Don't like it. I don't give a fuck. Let's see. Let me see. Oh God, there's something else here on. I'm on the Shade Room on Instagram. I see something else has been posted about, like, using the Shade Room on the actual desktop. Also, I prefer it on. What else did I want to talk about? All right, so I wanted to talk about Nicki Minaj too. I mean, there's a lot of conversation about Nicki Minaj and working with what's his name, Tekashi. I'm okay with it. I think the rap industry is filled with snitches. I'm not in the street, so I don't, I'm not, I don't live with the street code. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not in the streets. I don't live by the streets code. And we're talking about business. And again, I will state, and this is why I don't spend a lot of time on it. Y'all are mad at Tekashi for surviving the hood. That's what y'all are mad at. He came out on top of this situation. That is the only thing y'all are mad about. That's what y'all are mad about. There's just nothing else to it, because you can't make exceptions for some snitch, a lady snitch, a boy snitch, and like in Meek Mill's case, because it's a woman, she's still a snitch, and you still fuck with her. Lil C's is a snitch. I'm pretty sure there's several other people. Because the other thing about a snitch, you know how you can, the other thing about someone who's a snitch and they work with the courts, like, you can snitch on somebody, and even if it doesn't go all the way to make it to trial or whatever, your statements can be still in the still in the case. So just because someone doesn't go all the way to the courthouse doesn't mean, or they don't get on the stand doesn't mean that they didn't snitch. Someone could plea out, could cop a plea, but you still snitch and it's on record. So they just is like, damn, you got that person, and so they walk. So there's tons of snitches. So just because someone doesn't go to court don't mean they didn't snitch at all. Let's see what else is going on. I see Faith Evans and Stevie J. They like the new Whitney and Bobby. We got something in common. All four of y'all got something in common. And it means so much to y'all. Can't get off them drugs. That's exactly what that is. Like allegedly on all of this shit. Because I don't know nothing. I just be going to work, going to class, drinking, getting on live, like right now, and talking my shit. You know, the more other pieces, the more structured. This is the, just talking shit. Shout out to Beyonce for really not letting this Breonna Taylor shit go away. Like, yeah, as much as I'm out here for George Floyd, I'm out here for the beautiful Breonna Taylor. There's just no reason why we can't just sit in our house and, without the police barging in and killing us. Come on, sit and think about that shit. Like, why did they barge in and start shooting? Who the fuck was supposed to be in there? What the fuck did they do? That you had to barge in like Rambo? Like, it had to be more than one person for that type of reaction. It has to be more than one person. Barged in there, guns out? What happened to the rules of engagement? You barged in there, guns out, seeing a woman, and you didn't see nobody. You just blacked out and started shooting. Y'all niggas just blacked out and started shooting. Who was supposed to be in there? That reaction, that response doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. The other thing I didn't get to talk about, I found really insulting, and as Black people, y'all should find it super insulting and it should make you reevaluate some of the Christian stuff. When President Trump, Agent Orange 45, walked from the White House to that church, and he used the National Guard to clear the way for him, right? And then the next thing he did was take a Bible and hold it up. Y'all got to understand it and don't let it go over your head. It is long known that spirituality and religion is so important to Black people, right? So programming rise, right? For a long time, there's been this big debate within Black people, right? We have our very progressive, fight the power, fuck these people, one cheek, they like, you could give, what you give is what you get type of Black people. But then you have the other set of Black people, and it's a whole prayer fest. And I believe in God, and I do believe in prayer. But the other set, they just think that's going to fix it all, right? And so for them, action, they're so against action because it's not, you're supposed to pray. You're supposed to go the most peaceful route. And a lot of times you should, and that's what you should do. The problem is when people know your heart and know how you operate and they try to use it against you, right? So when you have your president walking into a church, right? And he ain't no religious man. I mean, his actions say that. He's never been known to be a religious man. So when a white man speaking to Black people who is upset about how they're being treated and they're rioting, they're protesters, upheaval, and the thing he does is hold up a Bible, and he thinks he's calming us down because he's telling us to pray. Do you understand that as slaves we got beaten and was told to pray? You took us from our country, you took us from Africa, and you gave us your religion to make us submissive and told us to pray about being free. And this motherfucker gonna walk into a church and tell us to pray? Come on. You gotta see through that. And this is when I tell people all the time, they just, when somebody is able and they think they know your heart, they're able to give that shit back to you and use it against you. Yes, we pray. Yes, we want peace. Yes, we don't want to kill nobody. Yes, we don't want any harm to come to people. I couldn't sleep at night thinking if somebody took somebody's life. Like no, that's not what we want. But what we won't do is have you to tell us to pray for you to get a conscience to treat us better. What you won't do is dictate how we go about getting this change. You won't do that. We're not even. What? I can't even hear you. I don't need your validation. If we look like looting monkeys, let us look like looting monkeys. Yeah, I do want to go back to things being normal again, right? So let's get some shit cleared up real quick before we get back to the regular scheduled program around this motherfucker. Let's get it cleared up. The other thing, I've been seeing all this talk about Marcus Houston. And I know Marcus Houston and Omarion is brothers, but I think they're brothers by father. I'm really not quite sure. But that's some strange shit. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. There's no reason that Marcus Houston and I are around the same age. There's no reason why you should be married to a 19-year-old woman. I don't care what she talks about. I don't care if she's older for her age. I don't care about any of that. You have some predatory behavior there. That is almost like a child. If I'm almost his age, I have nieces and nephews that age. I have nieces and nephews around that age. Like, what are you talking about? What did she say? Look, what did she talk about? Like you can't relate. I've watched her. I've seen her mukbang videos. There's no way you're gonna tell me you can relate. What it is that she's a blank slate, and you're comfortable with being with a blank slate. That's all that is. Because it's not because you can relate. She weren't even listening to your music when you were popping. It's been that long, and you're attracted to her. Marcus Houston, shame on you, allegedly. Shame on you. Because all this shit is alleged. But shame on you if you 38 years old and you married to a 19-year-old. Shame on you. What is attractive about a 19-year-old? Other than her body. But to take it to the next level, listen, I'm a realist, yo. Marcus Houston, if you wanted to smash, and you smashed it a few times and she's 18, 19, I don't judge you. I don't judge you it's questionable, but I get it. You know what I mean? She's beautiful. I get it. But to take it to the next level and marry a 19-year-old, I don't, that's disgusting. That's truly disgusting. The other thing I wanted to talk about that I did not, I didn't get to finish about the Cairol Horne thing. And if you're just now joining the live, what is this? Well, so we were just randomly talking about different things on the internet. I mainly started this because I wanted to bring awareness to Cairol Horne, a Buffalo police officer who was fired from her job for stopping a coworker from choking out a black man. They fired her. She lost her pension. She's struggling to pay her rent from the article I just read, and the police officer that she reported on ended up kept his job, lied on her, said she jumped on his back, which grown ass woman, why am I jumping on your back? She said she tried to take his arm off of him. They believed him over her. She got fired. He got to keep his job. He then commits another crime for another violent act, lied and everything, and ends up going to jail. But when he gets out of jail, he gets his pension. And so my question is like, why? Cops need to choke the people they want to stop, though. Well, I think everyone's disagreeing with that right now. At this point, if you're able to choke somebody, you're also able to either get in a fight with them and take them down. But because choking could result into death, you're like, that's not something you want a cop to do. I think in all the cases that we've not seen a cop use a chokehold in a battle to save his life. Now, if you're talking about if he had to do that chokehold to save his life and they're in a scuffle, most definitely, I think you should do whatever to survive. But if we're talking about using a chokehold as a response to take somebody down, no, you don't have to do that. Especially all the video that we've seen, it's been multiple when the chokehold is used. This time it was a knee on the neck, but there's been multiple police around, and the situation hasn't been that you've been overpowered. if you don't choke people, but so we're all right. So red X 17. But where have you seen video where a chokehold was used, and someone's that police officer's life was in danger? Even Eric Gardner in New York, none of those police officers whose lives was in danger. There were several police officers around. So the thing is like the the response has like the action has to warrant the response, and I haven't seen any actions that warrant someone being choked to death. I didn't see any actions with George Floyd that warrant 8 minutes and 46 seconds of being compressed in someone's neck. You get what I'm saying? So no, I just haven't seen in a case where rightfully so someone used the chokehold. And if you have, please let me know. I'll go look it up. Not a problem at all. All right. So let's see what else is going on. I told y'all I'm not posting a video I made the other year, but let's tell the facts. All the clips that we are supposed to anger us. I don't think so. I don't think they were. When you say they're supposed to anger us, it's like I don't think they're supposed to anger us, but it's supposed to bring awareness. So the fact that they're bringing back previous clips, it's not as if though it was being listened to previously. But to say something is supposed to anger you, if it does that, then that's what it's supposed to do. Like it's not a plan to set these up and give it to you. That is a fact. Like that's not no. You think George Floyd was shown to us to anger us? Or would you not? Or is it that to ignorantly live in bliss is to be okay and think that things are not happening? That's what I think you're saying. Because whether or not it's clickbait and whatnot, it's still happening. It's a real thing. It's you can't get around it. It's a real thing that has to. I don't tell everyone to watch all of it. There's still some killings that I still can't watch. And you're talking about clickbait and all the other stuff. I haven't watched Tamir Rice's shooting. I haven't watched Eric Gardner's fully. I can't watch that shit. So, or the man in South Carolina that was running. It's hard to watch the Atlanta one because you woke this man out of his sleep from sleeping and being intoxicated to arresting him. I think as any human being, if I got woken up, I'm going to be disoriented all over the place. Like, I don't understand. No, so that's where you're wrong, and that's not facts. George Floyd was legit surrounded by rookies. That Siobhan wasn't a rookie, and I don't new or old. That doesn't make a difference to me. That doesn't change my opinion about anything. Common sense is old. Common sense has been around forever, so that doesn't make sense to me. Again, someone who had such anger issues as that officer did in George Floyd, and that owner of that club in Minneapolis that said that he had an issue when he had to be around Black people. I'm sorry, and these are all factual information, like one thing I say. All right, so back to it. So where we at? I'm excited about The Bachelor coming back, but The Black Bachelor, I'm gonna review that. I think it's gonna be good. I think with Black women being the majority of probably the candidates, that it's going to be spicy, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, so what else? But rest in peace, Rashad Brooks. Sad shit. Real sad. Heartbreaking. His family, that was the most. Whoo. His family. Because to go from talking about George Floyd to having your own George Floyd, him and his wife talked about that. Like that, I don't think that's what some people don't understand. Like these are literal conversations that you have with your kids, yo. Ain't too much trash on here. Ain't too much trash. I see even Marcel's not going to be back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me tell you. I was actually going to be here I was excited to see Eva this coming season. She was not pregnant. She was not pregnant. I believe, she was going to give it to Nene. I think Eva's not coming back because Nene doesn't want her to. And I think low key, they let Nene get her way. And when she usually says something, it's kind of weird. It kind of happens. So I think that's why Eva's not coming back, because because Mimi said that she didn't think that she should come back. I mean, some people don't feel like she's earned her last two paychecks with the moderate, bringing it, the moderate tea or the, she brings. So, okay, whose baby is this? Let me see something. Malik Mahak. Y'all know that girl. I think she has a baby by YT or something. OG Genesis. That damn baby looked just like him. Like, it's kind of scary, kind of. It's kind of scary. Listen, I still haven't gotten into Kaya from last night. I don't know. I tried to watch it last night. I couldn't find it, but I see it's online now. But I got to get into it. Like, Kaya is funny. Like, I'm not here for the kids stuff, but there's just no. I'm just happy like she's getting some relevance back. I agree with Kaya, and I don't care. I'm gonna go on record. Kaya made the Queen Supreme Court. When you go back and you watch all the videos and all the drags, the shit that makes you gag is the Kaya shit. It's the Kaya stuff. The way that chemistry was, and I know it's like talking about like the way that chemistry was is just amazing. How do you get that back? Like, I want them to squash it, but I mean, it's gone low. She's done talked about Miss Mary. I think allegedly, I don't know, all this shit's alleged. T.S. Madison is she told Kaya to do what her mama did. Kaya's mother's not alive anymore. Like, it got crazy last week when they had Bobby Lights Badusi out there. I said, boy, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. Like, they got low. But let me tell you something about what Bobby Light said last week about Kaya and all that shit. I knew that shit wasn't true. Like, if you like real Kaya fans know, if you listen to her, like, who her daughter, Kaya, even the wild Kaya, you just knew that like that don't even make sense. That it didn't, like, the shit didn't make sense. And I believe Kaya. Kaya's telling you the truth, and her funny ass wife. I don't know whose story that is, but that's somebody's story. That ain't my motherfucking story. Dead ass. Like, I knew that story was all over the place, and it wasn't her. Because, and why y'all be talking about that girl wood paneling? Like, when I sit back and think of it, she's actually showed the upstairs of her house before, and it was nice. So I don't know why I got this impression that this woman is living in like a basement. Like, she's done like live videos from her bedroom. Looks very nice with candles and type of shit. Y'all making it seem like it's Georgia. Y'all making it seem like Kaya really would have to live in a shack or something. Like, no. I mean, no. Like, she ain't even showing y'all nothing. Y'all done created this whole fallacy of stories. Like, oh, what y'all think her pockets is, or how y'all think she's broke. I don't know how them checks are cutting when they send her royalty checks. Like, come on. You think she can't afford fucking rent in Atlanta? It's weird. A mortgage in Atlanta? Come on. You don't think she's been around this long and she don't know how to carry and hold and do something with money? It's just weird that people make all these crazy. You know what it is? Y'all judge people because they're not living above their means, and because they're not living above their means, you kind of think that they're doing bad. And I think that's what it is, because she's not out here with some ignorant ass conversation, Gucci this and this, and I'm buying this and I'm buying. You get a little older, okay, you can go buy all that shit, but I can keep my money. I'm gonna keep my money. Like, that's just weird. Y'all are weird. She sounds like she's moving right with her money. So let's check out another site, because I don't know what is going on with this. Let's go to Neighborhood Talk. Neighborhood Talk. I think I like it better like this, like pulling it up and I'm just talking. They haven't updated, because I looked at this last night when I went live. I got Snoop and his wife. God bless her. How do you do? I think she's still cute. I would divorce the nigga and move on with his money. That's just me. Because that type of embarrassment. Huh? No. I'm sorry, I'm just going through this. Okay, so I was on, and let me look this up. Damn, I wrote it down. So when I was in Houston last week, That's the other thing I talked about on last night's live. When I was in Houston last week, there was something on CNN, and it was talking about Seattle Police Department and how they damn, where did I write this shit at? It was Seattle the Police Department, and they were talking about how they deal with calls that have to do with mental health. And I thought this was really dope. I'm gonna find it again because it deserves like a private video. But in Seattle, when they get like mental health calls and someone is calling to report someone having like a manic episode or something, maybe they forgot their bipolar medicine because their crazy girlfriend or their crazy love interest hid their bipolar medicine or something like that. So the cops were saying that when they respond to when when they respond, they don't send police officers out. They don't send officers. They send actual behavioral people out to the homes. And I thought that was dope. I think if there's any way that we could do more of something like that, then I think that'd probably be the best thing, right? And I think, people will say, well, how about that person grab something and some, I think build some rapport. I think the questions you would have to ask, I think it should always be medical people going to respond to people having mental episodes, but the person who's calling it in should be able to provide information. It could get dangerous. You should ask those questions. Should we send a police officer because you might be scared of the response? Like those type of probing questions have to be asked. But I think that, I think that's the better way to do it. So that's in Seattle. And so I'm going to look that up because I wrote it down. I don't know where it is, but yeah, that's in Seattle. And that's a dope way. I think for a lot of cases and stuff that people should just, the right people should be called to a situation. And police officers don't have the capacity to deal with a lot of those issues. They just feel like when it comes to violence or something they can control, as we can see with Rashard Brooks, put him in handcuffs, like that's their response. But granted, again, that's not what they're hired for. They really aren't hired to deal or to know the best way to deal with people with mental conditions. And that's fine. Just getting innovative and thinking of different ways to deal with when those issues come up. As where we're at now, right? We're still going to march. We're still going to protest. We're still going to tear some shit up. But we also, at the same time, have to be thinking about how do we come up with good solutions and trying to deal with the different things that we are finding out is a problem. So San Francisco police officers will be replaced with trained, unarmed professionals to respond to calls dealing with non-criminal matters involving neighbor disputes and more. Yes, this is also a really big one because, again, of Karens, they have a way in general when you have to approach or talk about something, they have a way to make everything seem so. Their reactions are so evaporated, like it's so over the top, like they like it's just weird and it's not normal. But they just have a way of turning on the waterworks or turning every situation to make them look like a victim, right? Because you are either asking them questions or you're either asking them questions or they're not getting the response that they want out of you, even if you're respectful, tone right, and all the other stuff. A tone right and all the other stuff. They have a way to feel like get all fluttered and flustered. And it's like, well, I'm no longer apologizing for that. I didn't do that, right? I haven't exhibited any aggressive behavior. I haven't yelled. I haven't made you feel like you're threatened for your life or giving you a reason to be in fear. So with that being said, I don't owe you any explanation. Like I don't have anything to think about. That's something with you. That's not with me. And whether or not you are responding that way because you fear me because I'm a Black woman and I don't dim, I don't shudder, I don't back away. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem, baby. And at the end of the day, you're no more fragile than me as a Black woman. So with that being said, I don't have nothing for that. I have nothing for that because those same people, when you have to call them out because they do it in a nice, nasty way, it's acceptable and it's okay. And I have nothing for it other than I'm going to address it and keep it moving, keep it professional, keep it polite, keep it cute and all that stuff. But, it'll be addressed. All right, back to San Francisco. Seems like San Francisco is taking steps to end police brutality and create some type of reform. Today, San Francisco Mayor London Breed announced a police reform plan, which will change the way policing is handled in the city. In a press conference, London stated, "We need a fundamental change. We need to fundamentally change the nature of policing." She also added that they will finally be listening to the Black community about the about the way police officers be acting up. I don't know how to feel about her saying that we're finally going to listen to the Black people and you're Black. That's I don't think that's a good thing to admit because I mean you kind of are saying that you weren't listening to Black people before. And it's kind of just saying that you weren't listening to them before, and because everything that's going on, that you're finally being forced to listen to Black people, and that's concerning. I mean, you sound very Kamala Harris to me, and y'all know. I mean, people who follow me know I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris. I'm saying I'm a fan. I was to say that I wouldn't change my mind in the future and vote for her, but I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris. I feel like Kamala is forced to be a maverick. I feel like Kamala is forced right now. Not forced, but I feel she's been empowered to be more Blackish. I think Kamala didn't do anything progressive or anything out of the box professionally up until this point. So I question how much she's down. You know what I'm saying? Are you down because it's such on the forefront now? And I just really think it is. I think there's some people, some Black people who know how to operate in spaces and they know how to get in those spaces and fit in that pocket. And I think for her, she can fit in the white pocket in white areas and white rooms, and she fits in, right? So she knows how to play that space. The problem is now she has to find a way to relate to Black people and say some real shit to us now. And yeah, that's that. I don't know who this Red X7, but this was a lot. So let me see. It was clickbait. It was just a random thing. We wouldn't care. And if it was safe, George Floyd was light. Surrounded by, no, it's not a fact. The officers were new. Police needs more training. Oh, okay. I mean, no, they need more common sense. So what's your point? Police is racist, or is your point that police needs to change tactics? My point is all of it, and I don't know. My point's all of it. We are bringing this show to you tonight by Blue Moon. But my point is all of that. I don't understand, like, why are you saying, what are you questioning? I don't know. Can't slow down for, that. Let me see what else is out there. So we are still on Instagram. Okay, so the other things. So I see that Trump changed his rally from June 19th in Tulsa, Oklahoma to another date. I don't know if it's the day after, but he was really fucking up the plan. He was really whoever's on his staff doing this. I don't think the man's all there in his head. The fact that he wanted to do a rally on Juneteenth was just you might as well say, I want to do a Klans rally on Juneteenth in a city that 1921, a white mob felt empowered to go burn that shit down because they were too bougie for him. You gotta do your history and don't play with me, play with your kids. Felt like these Black people were too successful and had too much going on, was creating a utopia of a sort, a Blacktopia of a sort. And you went and you burnt the shit down. That's what you did. We're not gonna pussyfoot around that. We're not going to shy away from what it was. It was retaliation for doing better. Retaliation for doing better. It's crazy. But so I guess he got a lot of backlash, and so he's now moving it. So also shout out to Starbucks for not shout out, but you better. We were going Dunkin' Donuts, or it was going to be somebody other than Starbucks. You better let us wear our Black Lives Matter. Why is that even a conversation? What, Black Lives Matter T-shirt or apparel? Who is that going to offend? Let's talk about that. Who was Black Lives Matter apparel going to offend for Starbucks that they were going to allow their, is it because somewhere in some country ass hick ass town, if they don't want to come to Starbucks and see somebody wearing a Black Lives Matter, that was going to bother them so much? Is that what that was for? Or you just think that once we come into a place and we see Black Lives Matter, we going to burn that shit down? What type of ignorant ass shit were y'all thinking? Like, why was it such a big deal? Go ahead and just print some fucking expensive F20 dollar jars. And I got one too. Yeah. And write Black Lives Matter. And that's not what I know that's what you want to do. Fuck. What the fuck? This is an article I wanted to read, and I never got to talk about it because. So Meghan McCain admits she wasn't even in. Let's talk about this, okay? Because this tears for nothing, tears and crying about nothing, tears and crying. And Meghan McCain is a Karen all day long. Yep, is a Karen all day long. I love Madame Noir, but they really need to upgrade their website. Like, we just need to call it out what it is. It doesn't run well because of all these ads. And I know you got to get your money, but the site, upgrade the site if you need to run all this shit so it won't slow down. Here we go. Meghan McCain admits she wasn't even in NYC when she played victim and claimed rioters and looters eviscerated her Manhattan neighborhood. Bullshit. And it's bad that she's such a full of shit because I like her daddy. Her daddy was cool. You know, I don't fundamentally agree with everything, but he was that type of man. Like, he did the right thing though when it was time. You know what I'm saying? If something fundamentally went against his beliefs, Republican president or not, he stood up for it, and I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? So it's because most of these Republicans in the Senate, in Congress, they don't stand by their morals. They don't stand by any of that. They just do whatever the president say. And so that was the dope thing about John McCain. Like, he just was not that man. But of course, your children are your children, and they are their own people. So his daughter, Meghan McCain, as you know, is a co-host on The View. She's the only, I think, and don't quote me, don't hold me, she's the only actual Republican right now. So when Meghan McCain took to Twitter to complain about her Manhattan neighborhood looking like a war zone after being eviscerated by looters and rioters, she didn't only exaggerate about the damage done. Exaggerate. What did I just say that they do? Exaggerate. Everything is so flustering. Everything is so intense. I need directness. They only flourish with being shady. Like, it's crazy. When I'm sorry. When Meghan McCain took to Twitter to complain about her Manhattan neighborhood looking like a war zone after being eviscerated by looters and rioters, she didn't only exaggerate about the damage done to her neighborhood. As it turns out, the television personality was not even in New York City at the time. As you may recall, Meghan took to Twitter on June 2nd in a victimized rant that slammed New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio for the poor leadership amidst protests stemming from the murder of George Floyd. Go sit down. Go sit down. You came from Andrew Cuomo. You came for Andrew Cuomo, and then you came for him because you know Andrew Cuomo's gonna date the black woman. That's gonna be his next wife. If Quad don't get him, I'm gonna get him because I love that type of strength in a man. Like, amazing. But you came from Andrew Cuomo, who is adjacent black. We claiming them Italians because I like his brother too. He's married though. Love his brother. I watch his brother Cuomo like every night. But Meghan, you coming from my husband's and my brother-in-law, right? And family. And then you coming for Bill de Blasio, who's married to a black woman. You all out of order. You all out of pocket. You all out of pocket. But the fact of the matter is, we're talking about the fact that as white women, your tears are weaponized, right? White women tears cause a lot of things to happen, right? We always said that. R. Kelly, what did we say when that shit broke down with our R. Kelly tape? We said if those were white little girls, he would have been underneath the jail, right? Because their tears matter more than black girl tears, right? Same thing when they make comments and they say different things. They weaponize their words. They weaponize what they say. And it just caused things to happen. But more or less, it's just believed just because. And it goes back to what we were just saying about that police officer with the Cairol Horne. Why was he believed? And my whole thing is, why? Why was he believed? So when you have a white woman who just says whatever and she could be lying, why do you just believe her? Why do you just believe her? Because of what? because she seems like a good person, or because her dad was John McCain and she's a part of the, like, what? You just automatically just believe her? But how about the woman who said Emmett Till did what? And he ended up dead? Why was she believed? Why was she believed to the point that it weaponized people and caused them to go and kidnap a little boy and kill him? And then to come find out that that's not what happened, and she admits it, and she's living right now in Mississippi. She needs to go to jail. And I don't care if she was 99 years old. She needs to be in jail. She needs to be uncomfortable. She needs to feel uncomfortable. That little boy did not get to live his life. And we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that shit. We want to act like it didn't happen. I'm not acting like nothing didn't happen. It happened. We're going to talk about it. So she called him out for poor leadership. I don't know what she's talking about. Andrew Cuomo. I've listened to Andrew Cuomo before I listened to who's in office right now. I'll listen to him. But let's talk about that. We're talking about believing Black people, right? And what Black people say. And why y'all won't listen. Y'all won't listen to us when we told you about Trump. We wouldn't be here if y'all listened to Black women. Fuck that. Y'all listen to Black women, we would not be in this position. We said we had a feeling. Trust Black people when we said we feel some sort of way about a white person. Trust us. Trust us. Trust us. We see something. We have a third eye that you know nothing about. Trust us. And once there starts to be actions or little things or little, might not be a big deal, but once little things start happening, understand that we told you. So when he was discriminating with housing towards Black people and all the other stuff, or when Rosie O'Donnell came out and talked about how disgusting Trump was, you didn't believe her, but you most definitely didn't believe us. Now, one thing about not believing Black people, I will say this. I think there was a mixed messaging that happened with Donald Trump, though, too, at the same time, because you got to understand that when The Apprentice came out, and I think there's been remixes or it looked like we fucked with him, right? It looked like that, right? From outside looking in, if you don't know anything about Donald Trump, he came across as cool for Black people. I think he's been featured in videos, like same parties as some people, but at the same time, I think we've overlooked that over all these years. He's just messed with Black people in a way where I'm messing with you, or in a way where I'm comfortable with you, right? So being out in public is, and we have association is different than really fucking with Black people. And it was just a telling sign for us that he liked Omarosa. When he could fuck with Omarosa, and he said, I like her. We said right then and there, you like Omarosa, huh? Like, that's like, how, did you not think that? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You like Omarosa. That's crazy. All right, so here she goes. My neighborhood in Manhattan is eviscerated and looks like a war zone. Such strong words. Such strong words. Like, you would have thought that she was, under heavy fire in the Middle East or something. But okay. Because most of the violence that was happening in Manhattan was happening overnight. So either way, you were safe in your apartment if you were in New York, right? So she tweeted, de Blasio and Cuomo are in utter disgrace. Don't let me see you. Somebody's gonna be out here taking this way too serious, but it's okay. You'll be all right. This is not America. Our leaders have abandoned us and continue to let great American cities burn to the ground and be destroyed. I never could have fathomed this. Okay, Miss Meghan McCain, you never could have fathomed this. I guess you're not in Arizona anymore. I don't. Like, what? Like, what? Guess you're not in your white paradox world. Like, you couldn't fathom this. You couldn't imagine. We couldn't imagine that police officers would be still killing us in 2020. But back to your imaginary story about a city and something that's happening in the city that you weren't there. But continue. The thing is, Meghan's neighborhood wasn't affected in the way she claimed, thankfully. Her neighbor, Kristen Bartlett, who is co-head writer of Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, called her the culprit for her false narrative. That's what we talk about, false narratives. My white sister, I'm gonna go there. Let me see what she'd be doing out here, because you gotta sometimes also pay homage to the white queens. And this is a white queen right here. She sees it, the bullshit. She's like, girl, girl, you working from home with a full frontal with CMOB. Okay, I'm gonna find out what that is, because we're gonna find out what this white queen do. We gotta give her some from that. Full frontal with Samantha B. What is that? Let's see what that is. I'm on it. I guess it's a YouTube series. Okay, I see it's a YouTube series. Let me see. So I pulled it up. Full frontal with Samantha B. Wednesdays, 10:30, 9:30 Central. All right, so I'm gonna look on my spare time. I'm gonna look and see if she did a video on the Meghan McCain. But she's on YouTube. She seems like an ally. I'm one of those people. I'm optimistic about people who just like really call things out for what they are. And the fact that she came out and called out Meghan, I'm with it. She said the thing is, Meghan neighborhood wasn't affected in the way she claimed, thankfully. Her neighbor, Kristen Bartlett, who is co-head writer for The Frontal with Samantha B., called her to the carpet for her false narrative. Meghan, we live in the same building and I just walked outside. It's fine, Bartlett tweeted. Just like, chill. Like, chill. Stop acting like you're so hurt. Stop acting like somebody's doing something to you. Like, what, girl? What, girl? Are you waking up and people are and white girls are hanging from a tree? Like, girl, what are you talking about? Who's doing something to you? Like, just weird. And for some reason, people believe this shit. So they're showing the tweet. Meghan, we live in the same building and I just walked outside. It's fine. Like, sometimes you just like, it's fine. Like, calm down. Like, why do you look like you're gonna cry? Like, what's going on here? Like, weirdness. But again, that's a you, not a me. That's usually what I said. That's usually how I feel. Like, that's a you problem. The plot further thickened the next day when Meghan took to Twitter to admit that she wasn't even in New York City during the protest. So you're not credible at this point. You're just not credible. Now your opinions are not credible. Just because you will weaponize your tears, you'll weaponize your words, and create false stories. That's basically what you did. For a Republican base that fucks with you, now you're on Twitter making it seems like New Yorkers can't walk out their house. Like, what? Okay. The plot further thickened the next day when Meghan took to Twitter to admit that she wasn't even in New York City during the protest. Her reason for confessing: a gossip publication got wind of the fact that she was elsewhere and was preparing to expose her. Ironically, it's that exposing, so she's gonna jump out in front of it. No, girl. Ironically, she tried to use her pregnancy to drum up sympathy. I bet you did. Just imagine in real life. Oh, I'm just not used to that. So it just, I don't know. It just makes me nervous. It's just not what I'm used to. Y'all know the story. Keep up. Don't let it go over your head. I am 6 months pregnant. A gossip organization is about to run a story of where me and my family are currently. Where me and my family are currently, she tweeted. I sent a tweet yesterday based on the news I saw happening in Midtown. We all have been watching all over different media platforms. Look at how come on, yo. That is so manipulative. So now we're supposed to focus on the fact that she's pregnant. So now it's mommy brain. It's mommy brain. I didn't think about it that deep. It's mommy brain. I just said it. I'm emotional. I'm all over the place. My pregnancy. You forgot where you were, and I just tweeted. Oh, shit. This was shit. That's what she is. All right. I mean, that's enough of that story. So let me see, what else did I bring up? No, I'm not gonna do that one. Like I said, the blogs is kind of dry. It's a lot of, it's a lot of 6ix9ine stuff. I mean, I don't know. His music, you better get them same writers or something. You better get him a new crew. You better hire a new crew. Maybe you'll be loyal to them because you're paying them, but even then, you probably won't because you're paying them. You get how that works, right? You pay them. So either way, your concept of loyalty is all fucked up. But I get it. You survived. Nikki Barnes survived. So it is what it is. Still got Fisher, still in jail, and Nikki is out. Like it happens. Y'all are just mad at Takashi. Period. They're Outpost out, and I'm not saying nothing bad about the great Outpost because I'm not gonna say great because but he's active. We don't speak about active people. We only speak about retired people here. We don't know nothing about that life. I'll pretend like I don't know nothing, but I know enough not to say nothing. All right, y'all. All right, I told you I was just in a really cheeky, felt like talking ass mood, so I can get out of here. Is there anything else? Let me see. I wrote something down. Let me see. Oh, it's on my other computer. You know what I didn't get into that I should have gotten into last time? So I may break this up. Yeah, I'm gonna break this up. Oh, I probably can't because the way I recorded it. Oh, that's fine. Doja Cat. I've been like, I was gonna. I have a video, but for some reason I can't post it. Whatever. My things about Doja Cat is I only know Doja Cat because I've seen some interviews, I've heard her speak. So for me, growing up in the suburbs and knowing that type of black white girl, it wasn't. I heard a girl, and I hear a girl who's not kind of in touch with her blackness in the sense of her Thanksgiving celebrations, her Christmas, and everything just look way different than us. And I knew that, right? Because we have a biracial girl who was raised by her white Jewish mother. That's totally different than anything, with probably some access and some privileges that we know nothing about, right? So it didn't surprise me. So when I hear her speak and what she relates to and how she talks, immediately for me, I get it. This is like Lakeisha. Now, if you don't know who Lakeisha is, I went to school with a girl named Lakeisha, and she was mixed. So she was like a no, she wasn't. Lakeisha wasn't mixed. She was just really fair skinned. But Lakeisha, you can tell she more or less fucked with like the white people. So her name is like, as who it is, you would just think that, she'd be down for fucking with black people. I just know when you try to talk to Lakeisha, I only knew of one other black person Lakeisha fucked with. She's actually really nice and I don't even hold it. I only remember one other black person Lakeisha fucked with. And that's cool because they were kind of the same. But this other black girl, she still fucked with black people. She was actually my best friend in high school. So, but Lakeisha did not fuck with nobody black. She didn't date black. She knew it. Lakeisha didn't do this shit. Lakeisha was so white with it. She would come to school with the messy ponytail. And that's not an easy look. Y'all know what I'm talking about when white girls do this. Oh, let me see if I can do it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. White girls do this. They throw their ponytail up here. And it just be real messy. Like it's sitting on top of their head, right? If somebody watching this, they know what I'm talking about. Hey, wait. So I used to do this shit in high school. I'm like, girl. But that was their thing, I ain't judging it. I'm just saying it was just weird. So they would do these little ponytails and then y'all know what I'm talking about. If you went to school in the burbs, you know what I'm talking about. And Julia would walk around with her hair pinned up with a pencil or something. For being funny. But y'all know what I'm talking about, the messy bun look. Alright, so I love my big hair. Okay. So Lakeisha we're trying to do the messy ponytail, y'all. Come on now. Lakeisha and I have long hair. Lakeisha does not have long hair. The messy ponytail and long hair don't work. And then she was doing the whole wetting her hair every day. We don't do that either. And coming to school with a curly, weird situation. I say that all to say that that's who she related to. That's who she wanted to be around. But she was still a black woman at the end of the day, and I respected that. I say that so when I heard Doja, I wasn't I wasn't fooled by that. I knew what that was, and I wasn't bothered, right? So I go through all the bulletin points. Let me see if I have it up too. I won't make it too long, but I go through all the bulletin points, and like she did, when she sat there and wrote things out. I think Black people, we got to be completely honest. When you get honest about the fact that y'all can get mad, Doja Cat wouldn't be accepted in our hood, or she wouldn't be accepted to come around because she's too different, right? I'm too different for some hood circles, right? So when I hear Black people telling, or she's not proud to be Black, like some of the shit that y'all were talking about was so basic. Let me tell you why. At no point in time did Doja Cat say, I don't like Black men. She's dated white men, right? That's not saying that. For some reason, people hear things and they interpret people's actions and then try to make it a fact for them as if though they said it. Just because she has dated white men, never said she would date Black men. All of a sudden, she don't like Black men. Just because she said, I don't like my 4C hair, I didn't take that personal. My 4C hair gets on my fucking nerves, but y'all did that to her because y'all don't fully accept her, right? And y'all think that she has to be your type of Black, right? What she said was true. 4C's hair it's hard to take care. It's annoying. It takes a lot of energy, right? There's some days I think if I want to put this shit in a perm, right? There's some days I get frustrated. But that woman doesn't owe you further explanation and make you feel comfortable with your Blackness that you're mad because she said she didn't like her 4C hair. So what it sounds like is that y'all got your own shit out there as as Black people that you're struggling with, and she pushes that for y'all. She pushes that for y'all. I know we all love Mariah Carey, but we don't make Mariah Carey wear her Blackness. Now, yeah, she has dated Black men, but we don't make her wear her Blackness. We don't make her come out and speak out about things. We don't put that pressure on her. I think if Mariah Carey did come out and say more, she would still be met with that force. We got to be honest about things. Met with the force of you have privilege because of your skin color. She would be met with that force. So I feel like Mariah Carey operates in both spaces. She operates successfully in both spaces, but she understands that if she came out with all her Blackness, she'd be met with the you ain't Black. What y'all say about Rashida Jones? Rashida Jones is the same way. I mean, granted, she may identify more with her white side, but she would not be met well. People would have a problem with her. She's well-spoken. She speaks differently. I heard people talk about Doja Cat's apology and not like it. It wasn't sincere enough for you, some people. And it's like, that girl speaks differently. What? Because y'all didn't like B. Simone's apology. Like, it's like, come on, people. Look, I would have got up here as Doja Cat and would have gave you 10, 15 minutes and told you to go sit in one. I promise you I would have. You don't come around and try to tell me about my Blackness. I don't like my 4C hair, but there just was no facts to there was no facts behind this case. People got mad at Dindu. She said it wasn't about that. You go look at the words, you see what the words are. She tried to do a flip. That's what we do in Black culture. We take shit and flip it. Didn't we take nigger and flip it into nigga? Like, that's what we do. So when she explains to me, that was just some artistic shit and I was just flipping it. And if you read the lyrics, yes, it has nothing to do with Sandra Bland. So when I sat back, the skin, she made sure to let you know she's half white when someone asked about her skin. I was Doja Cat, and that was my apology. Let me tell you how that apology would have went. You stupid motherfuckers. I'm half white and I'm half Black. Now, sometimes during the equinox of the winter solstice and the sun is not out, I appear to be seen and look very white. When the sun is out more and it's at its highest and it's at its strongest and I'm in the sun more, I look darker. So reminding you of her anatomy was not her dissing her Blackness. She was reminding you of something that is a pure fact, that she's half white and she's half Black. And if she doesn't tan or she doesn't go in the sun, she looks really whitish. So when I sat back and I thought about it, it was like, okay, granted, I don't fuck with her music. I listened to that Say So song one time. I fuck with Nicki all day. I'm here for you getting records and all. But I had to sit back. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me address the chat room shit. Shout out Impressive. and somebody else. One thing, like when you look at those cubes, there are black men in those cubes, right? So what it seemed like to me, allegedly, all of this shit is allegedly. If I forgot to say it on the last, it's alleged. But what it seemed like was she may have been on something, some yak, some, you know, or some China white. Like she could, all three of those things could have been going on simultaneously at the same time. But what was clear is that she was freaky and she was in heat and she was looking at a camera and she was saying some very sexual stuff, right? The thing is, what's missing in that is that you don't know who the fuck she's talking to. She could have been talking to the two black men, but at no point in time do you hear her directly telling a white person to call her, like, you don't hear that. So again, I accept her explanation on everything. She said that it's a smaller platform, there's not a lot of moderators, there's racism and racist people and KK people on every platform, YouTube, Instagram, and all that other stuff. What helps reduce me from not seeing that are the moderators, are the Instagram or the platforms, things they have in place to kind of minimize, or if something gets reported, it gets taken down. Like what? But these are big platforms, right? So they have a lot at their disposal. So when she says it's a little platform, the moderators have to be in there and they have to manage it. But I haven't been involved in conversations with racist people. I accept that because at the end of the day, I don't care if so. Like at the end of the day, with everything that's going on, I'm 100% confident like it's not going to erase racism. Racism is a real thing. But what we're talking about is acknowledging that it does exist. So with that being said, people who are racist are on the internet. And what exactly does that mean? Do you log off? Do you not go on any sites? You get what I'm saying? Like why it seems so basic to me, and what people asking, if this woman says, I'd seen no one produce receipts of her saying anything about black people that's disparaging. Y'all are just mad because she don't fuck with us. And this is again black people stuff. And I'm not mad. That's clear. Talking and hearing her talk, she seems cool to me. I'm not mad at it, but it seems like black people are mad because Doja Cat don't fuck with them the way that y'all would want her to fuck with you. Basically, that's what it seems like to me. But she like she's saying something, that's some nigga shit, and y'all mad because she can say it because she's half black. That's what I think y'all like. That's what it comes across, is that y'all mad because she can get up here. It's like y'all niggas are wilding. What you want from me? And y'all mad about it. And that's that on that. That's what I got for the Doja Cat. All right. Was there anything in those videos I can't? Shout out to Teyana Taylor and Iman Shepherd on their new baby that's coming. That is super dope. What else that I want to talk about? I think that's it, y'all. I'm off here. I am off. Let me see. Oh, I didn't go on site. Let me go check out on site. See what they got going on. Let's see what they got going on. I'm sorry, y'all. I was just listening to reading a post by YF and Lucci, who is Regine's ex-boyfriend. I'm gonna change my ways for the sake of myself. Maybe I need to stop caring about so many people and just live my life. Maybe you should wrap it up. Maybe how about that? Maybe you should learn what a condom does. I'm just thinking. Let me see anything worthy of talking about. This sparks my interest. I do want to definitely go back to Love and Hip Hop, Georgia. That's where I want to see her at. I don't know about what to say about the Atlanta stuff. I'd say this one thing about Trina. I think her comments were stupid and all this other stuff, but I also feel like as a woman, I'm going to call misogyny out for what it is. I'm also going to call double standards out for what it is. We all know that what Trina said about the animal stuff, it's wrong. It's so wrong. It's, I don't think she realized how it came across, and that's fine. We can correct her in that space for that. But we're trying to make it seem like it's been a problem all these years. I just don't agree with. I mean, I believe Trina talks like a rap star, and you know how many arrogant ass rap stars there are. You know how many arrogant ass rap stars, like for real, behind closed doors. Like, do you know how many? It's a lot. And the way they do speak is, nigga, ain't nobody on top like me. I'm number one. Fuck these niggas. They ain't on my level. That's all that shit that's Trina be saying. And for some reason, we're internalizing, or women are making it, oh, she's talking about, oh, she thinks she better. I don't think Trina thinks she's better than me. And once, more importantly, I wouldn't even believe that. You get what I'm saying? But I don't think that she's saying that. I don't think that she's saying that. I think she, at the end of the day, she may not have like Beyonce types of hits, but she's been working steadily, and she's been in the Black community and doesn't seem to have been problematic. She's always been talking about peace and unity amongst women, and I can say that with even being a Kaya stan. She's always talked about peace and unity and empowering Black women. She's always did those things. So just because she's lashing out right now, or I feel like this is a woman that's going through a lot. She's lost her brother. She's lost her mother. Her album got snatched, funds and money, and like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just all coming out, but I don't take it personal. I don't feel personally attacked by her. And I don't know why people would feel personally attacked. There was this young man on my Facebook, and check him out, Trade a Kid. Let me see if I can find him on. Let me see if I can find him on Trade a Kid. But one thing he said, Trade a Kid. Let me see. One thing that he said, which I thought was really good, was, if I'm beefing with a nigga and I'm talking my shit, talking my fly shit, and that nigga who knows I'm beefing with them or I have a problem with it knows it, and they see me on, or any, it could be several, it ain't just one person. That's what that energy is for. Period. That's what that energy is for. So to hear people just try to act like y'all feel like personally attacked, no, that's your weakness. That's your bitch shit. That ain't nobody else but you. But let's see, Trade a Kid. He got 120,000 views. He is from Brockton, I think, Massachusetts. So let's go. Let's see what he's working with.
Hold on. Where my gas at? Hold on. Spark that up.
First time hearing this though.
Okay, we lit. Gang shit, man. Life for the glory, man. I'm in LA, but a nigga from Boston. They play the beat, so you know I got a sausage. He disrespect, I'ma put him in a coffin. No Glock with my hands, I'ma wash him. Throw him up on dogs, I'm stomping. Nigga, where you from? 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 Project, baby, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, where you from? Nigga, where you from? Project, baby, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, where you from? Nigga, where you from? Project, baby, I don't give a fuck. Play with text, yeah, my niggas get the sparking. Bullets get the spraying, nigga, you a target. Jake's come, but these niggas start talking. He was tough on the book, so we caught him. Tell them kids, yeah, they need to stop walking. In the South End, yeah, that's where I started. Big Louis belt, yeah, that's where that thing is. All these girls on me cause they young and famous. She want a dark-skinned nigga with them raps. She want a dark-skinned nigga with them tats. Young Trey, take your girl to the trap. Then I got the neck and I brought her right back. All my niggas listen, bitch, we want the cash. In second grade, I brought a knife to the class. Yeah, I've been lit since a kid. Instagram hoes on my dick. Just trying to fuck up my shit. Whole mad cause she just got my kid. She got left and got kicked out the whip. Young nigga don't do relationships. And free my niggas doing them bits. Nigga, where you from? 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 Project, baby, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, where you from? Nigga, where...
I don't know what they talking about. I like that kid. I mean, he's younger, so, but he get it. He's right on par, and he getting these views. Back here, Trade a Kid, check him out. And that's TRAE, the kid. Where you from? He's from, I think he really is from, like, I don't know. It's been, like I said, I don't see no street shit, don't know no street shit, but I think he is really repping Brockton. But he out of South End, born in the projects and stuff like that. But let me see what else. Yeah, he getting these views. Numbers talk, So sometimes, like, I appreciate it, like new young talent. Then you got niggas under here on his, like, I'm on his comments. Us from Boston do not claim him because that is worth what? What is that? What is your claim worth? What does that monetarily look like in his pocket? Help me understand. What does that look like? Yeah, you guys haven't had anything to claim since New Edition, so it's just really weird. Like, what is your support do? I'm not from Milton, but what is your support do? Sometimes you gotta like put shit in relative terms. Like, yeah, what does your support do? Okay, this one is funny. How does dude look like he's 18 and 40 at the same time? That one is funny. That one is funny. The fact that when people take time out their day to give negative comments to someone they like, I'm just like, yeah. Just look, the newest NLE chopper. I don't know. I like it. I mean, Boston don't claim him. He's from Mass Ave 7 months ago. People be in your own city. This is why you can't even. This is why you can't even care. Like, what does that do? Like, what is that for? What is that for? Let me thumbs down this. Sometimes niggas don't know they're haters until you tell them, like, you're a hater. Sometimes niggas don't know. Like, people go their whole lives thinking they solid and just be like, no, that's hating. Okay, how you judge it up. That's fucking hating. Can't get around that. Oh, how did I let my ice melt? Can't get around that. That's hating. But I'm thinking some people don't have OGs. I'm sorry. I'm thinking some people don't have OGs or old heads. That's why you can follow me and reach out to me and ask me, like, just be like, does this sound like I'm a hater? And I just be like, yeah, that sounds like you're a hater. And this shit sounds like people are just haters to me. That's just how that comes across. You wasn't directing something to you, then it wasn't for you. Niggas always trying to make a cause out of some shit that ain't got nothing to do with them, and then try to act like they fucking superheroes. That's what it sounds like. Niggas got superhero syndrome out here. These motherfucking streets, mind your business. If it ain't your cause, don't pick that shit up. You don't know what that's about. And that's period. Period. Okay, that's the real on real, for real. All right, so let me get out of here. It's getting kind of late. It's 11:06 there. I'm just trying to see what else is out there that maybe I may have not. I want to get into this Deja Harris because I need to know what happened to this baby. Now, her mom is like, that's my baby. That's my twin. But, I mean, just something. It's just, she talking about shooting, stabbing, killing. If a nigga hit you, I mean, granted, girl, you go on the right track. That's what you should do. But it was just like, why are you so there yet at such a young age? And that's kind of worrisome, right? Because as a grown woman as I am, you get that type of power and that strength, but when you see it so young in a girl, you just wonder, like, what have you gone through to get you here so fast? And that's what I think of when I see Deja. Like, what's happened that you're here so fast? So, all right, so I'm gonna get off of here. Y'all be blessed, y'all be black, and y'all be back. I'm gonna try to do these more. But like working through the day, like I'm working my job, even though I'm working at home. It just doesn't allow for me to actually at the same time be on live while being at work. So that's why I don't do it. I mean, I go live a couple times or I'll go live during the day, but it's always like during my lunch or for 15, 20 minutes. I'm quite aware because when you're aware, you're aware. You know what I mean? So I have to watch my actions. So with that being said, y'all be blessed, y'all be black, and y'all be back. And y'all stay bougie out there. I'm still working on getting this all right, but I'm on my timetable, nobody's else. I be seeing all the shit on YouTube, and I just be like, oh. Y'all niggas are arguing with each other way too much. And I know y'all are just doing this on purpose. Like, I just know, like, this can't, like, I'm at this point where I'm like, oh, this is staged. At this point, I feel like it's like some WWE type of shit, like just fake beef. Like y'all are purposely doing this fake beef to get views during this time. That's how I look at it. Like, I'm beef with you this week. We're gonna get these views. They're gonna go from your video to my video. We're gonna act like, we know each other and beef with each other. Because that's the only thing I can fucking think of. Why people who don't know each other are beefing is that y'all in it. Y'all trying to get this money. I mean, but if that's the case, get your shmoney. You don't entertain. You don't do clown shit. I don't do clown shit. So, but yeah, like I'm not gonna play with you, baby. I'm not gonna play with you. I know I may look like a challenge, and you find yourself over to me and find my social medias, and I'm not gonna play with you. Don't. This ain't the challenge you want. Like I said, I'll hide your bipolar medicine on you, dang. Nigga, like what you doing? All right, I'm out. Y'all be blessed, y'all be black. And if you don't get the sub, then it's not for you. Like, mind your business. Mind your business. Cause I'm a subbing as like I'll sub for eternally. Like, it's not real unless I acknowledge it. So I sub. I will sub you to death. I'll drive you crazy with it too. All right, y'all be blessed. I'm out.